Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Merry Christmas, and welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach, and for today's rules recipe, we'll be looking at ICECOOL. The ingredients that make up ICECOOL are some fish cards, some ID cards, some plastic fish, plastic penguins, a rule book, and the bottom of the box, which turns into the board. To set up ICECOOL, you'll need Santa's little elves to help you put the boxes together based on the colored dots on the bottom of each open doorway. Then, you'll need to snap on these 4 white fish tokens in order to make sure it all sticks together. Choose one of the available penguin colors, and then take the penguin reminder card, ID card, and 3 fish tokens of that color. Any unused components are set aside. Shuffle all the fish cards and put them in a face-down draw pile within easy reach. The player who saw a penguin most recently becomes the catcher for the first round. Each round consists of 3 phases. In the first phase, each runner will attach one of their fish tokens on each of the 3 doors marked with the fish symbol. While this is going on, the catcher places his penguin in the kitchen, box number 2, anywhere within the red-lined area. Then we'll move on to phase 2, which is go time. This round will be played in clockwise order, starting from the player on the left of the catcher. So in a 3-player game, the sequence will go runner, runner, catcher, and then repeat until the round ends. Player's turn consists of 1 flick. The player on the left of the catcher starts the round by putting his penguin on the red circle in the classroom and flicks it. Then the next player, in clockwise order, does the same.
Ow!
Sometimes, as you just witnessed, a penguin will jump straight out of the game. It is then put back into the box in the exact point where it started, and its turn immediately ends. Once all the runners have gone, the catcher starts from the spot in the kitchen where he placed his penguin during round setup. In each of their next turns, the players flick the penguin from the place where it stands at the beginning of his or her turn. One event that can happen during a player's turn is they flick their penguin and it goes underneath a door with a fish of their color on it. As long as the penguin has gone completely from one side of the door to the other, they'll be able to take off their fish token and then grab 1 card from the fish deck, look at the points on it, and then set it face down in front of them. If you had jumped over the door instead of under it, you would not get your fish token. Also, if at any point a runner runs into the catcher, they must then give the catcher their ID card. Don't worry if your ID is taken, however, for you're not out of the round and can still continue to play and collect additional fish. The third phase is the end of the round. This is triggered by either the catcher catching all the runners and having all their ID cards, or any runner has collected all 3 fish tokens of their color. There are a few special situations that may occur throughout the game. One of them is that your penguin is too close to a wall or stuck in a door. Before you flick, you may place it on the closest free point on the red line, so the center of the penguin is on the line. If you get stuck under a door with a fish on it, it looks like you won't be getting that fish yet, because you have to go completely through a door with your fish token on it in 1 single move. So here, you'll have to pull your penguin out to the red line and then re-flick it through the door completely. Sometimes your penguin can go completely through a door and then rotate back and become stuck in the same door. In this case, going through the door counts, and you get your fish token and the card. In the case of being stuck under a door, there are two possible outcomes. Before you flick, if looking directly from the top of the door, you can see a small part of your penguin on either side of the door, you can place it on either room's red line. Otherwise, before you flick, if looking directly from the top of the door, you can see the penguin on only one side of the door, you can place it only in the room where the part of the penguin is visible. If another player during their turn pushes your penguin either completely through a door with your fish token on it, or into the catcher, you resolve all these effects as well. This means you would take off your fish token and get a card for being pushed through the door, or lose your ID card for being pushed into the catcher. Another thing you can potentially do during your turn is use ice skates. If you have two fish cards with value 1, you may turn them face up at the end of your turn and immediately take another turn and flick your penguin following the regular rules. You do not lose these cards and still get points for them at the end of the game. These cards must remain face up so you don't use them again for an extra flick. If you have enough cards, you may take more than one extra turn in a row. The ability may be used both by the catcher and the runner. Now that the round has ended, each player, starting with the catcher, draws one card from the fish card drop pile for each ID card they have. The catcher will always get one fish card for his own ID card, plus an additional fish card for each ID he captured. A runner will only get a fish card if he wasn't caught. Players take back their ID cards and 3 fish tokens for the next round. The player to the left of the catcher becomes the new catcher for the next round. The game ends after each player has been the catcher once. Count the victory points from your fish cards, and the player with the highest total of victory points becomes the winner. Don't forget to also count your revealed ones. In the case of a tie, the tie player with the most cards becomes a winner. If this is also a tie, the tie players share the victory. I hope you are taking notes and learned a little bit about ICECOOL. If you want to see a few more videos on this, please check out our other videos linked below. Thanks for watching, and have a Merry Christmas.